I gotta get over it.
10.37 miles, 8 minutes, 30 seconds per mile today in the Nike Vomero 14s, running along the Chicago lakefront. An absolutely beautiful sunrise, but we had a little bit of cloud cover coming in, so the sunrise was like a really narrow point in time, maybe 5 minutes in total, that we had just fantastic light. And then it got a little bit dreary and gray, and then eventually the sun started to peek through a little bit. But otherwise, just had a fantastic time running out there today, and really enjoyed running in the Vomeros. They really like it when you just get out there, go for a steady state long run. That's, I think, the favorite thing that they want to do, and I had a really good time running in them doing that. And today what I wanted to talk about a little bit is why I would have a 10-mile run after a hard workout yesterday, which was that long interval run day that was a little bit too hard of a workout for me, in fact, and I didn't even get to finish the workout. But why would I put those two together? And there's two kind of main categories of reasons. The first is it's very pragmatic. I'm not a professional runner, and I'm not elite. I can't dedicate my entire life to my training schedule, and so the weekends are where I put in the bulk of my miles, because that's when I just happen to have the most time. And I suspect that's the same for most of you that are watching, if not almost nearly all of you that are watching this channel. And before we go any further, keep in mind that I'm not a coach. I'm not licensed or certified or anything as a coach. I've never actually coached anyone before. But this is just kind of the way that I'm thinking about how the runs that I put together fit along some of my ultimate goals this year, and why I do the things that I do. It may not be physiologically correct and anatomically and biologically correct, but in terms of the things that I'm thinking about, this is what makes sense in my mind and how I rationalize these things for some of the things that have worked for me a little bit in the past. I talked about the pragmatic. It's just schedule-wise, it fits. The other thing is that it's strategic. There are a couple of strategic reasons why I like to stack kind of 2 hard days in a row, even though they're very different kind of hard days. So the one was a long interval run day, or sometimes I'll put a track day where I'll run a couple miles, hit the track, do some intervals there, and then have a long cool down. So it ends up being a long mileage day, and then have another long mileage day, just a steady state run after that. And the main reason is cumulative fatigue, and I talk about that a lot, is I think that your body remembers workouts more than just here's what I did Thursday, here's what I did Friday, here's what I did Saturday. I think it remembers, here's what I did Friday in light of what I did Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The two runs go hand in hand. So it's not one workout on Saturday, one work on Sunday. It's the 1-2 punch of those two workouts that I think are important, if not physiologically, mentally, and psychologically, making me feel stronger when I get to that starting line. But I think that there's kind of like the anaerobic and aerobic. So anaerobic without breathing and aerobic with breathing difference that you're training as well. And it's the same muscles, kind of, or maybe you're training your slow twitch muscles, but you're training them in different ways. And so I think that if you don't have kind of the long run after a hard run, you could still have it without having them stacked next together. I do it stacked next together because of the cumulative fatigue idea and because of scheduling issues. But I think you need that in order to train the aerobic part of your body, right? And so if you only do hard runs, if you only do track workouts, if you're only doing cross training as you're training for a marathon, a lot of people can do that, and they're fine, and they're better athletes, better natural athletes than I am. But I have to do both. 2017, I think that's a big reason why I bonked, is that I went out there and I ran an anaerobic race. I ran faster than my body could run without burning up too much fuel. And so I think that's what happens when you hit the wall, is that you're running out of fuel. You've spent it out. Once you've spent it, you're done. It's kind of the wheels have fallen off. And so these longer recovery runs or active recovery runs, and the reason why I like to make them longer is that way it trains my body to run slower, and it's easy for me to run slower when I'm tired. And by doing that, I'm training the other muscle groups, the aerobic muscle groups. And so I avoid having some muscle groups being stronger than others, or some parts of my body being stronger than others. There's lots, everyone thinks it's just running, but I think there's a couple of things that are in play when you're marathon training. There is strength and speed that are important, but also that kind of distance or fitness, however you want to put it, that I think is also important as well. And I think that long kind of recovery run, or that second day of long run, I think in my mind really works to do that. And so that's why I like to have another second day of running that's a longer distance, more than just 3 or 4 miles, which is what I might normally think of for a recovery run. So a lot of this comes down to that idea of running slow to run fast, which I had a hard time with for a very long time. It didn't make any sense to me. I was kind of always of the belief that if I want to run 8 minutes 30 seconds per mile, or 8 minutes per mile, 7 minutes 30 seconds per mile for a marathon, I gotta get used to running 7 minutes and 30 seconds for all distances, from 10K to 10 miles, a half marathon, and on. And that was kind of a brute force approach. And I guess if I kept doing that, I'd ultimately may get there. But for a distance like the marathon, where you can't just brute force a marathon, at least normal people can't, I can't, I have to train that aerobic part of my body, or get that lifetime miles in, so that way my body can run 7:30 at kind of a cruising speed. I think that the marathon, a lot of it is how much of a reserve can you leave for yourself for the first half, if not even longer, before you then start burning through some of your energy reserves. And so the longer run, that's a little bit slower, that you're not taxing yourself, is going to train your muscles, not just your leg muscles, your quads, your hams, your calves, your entire body, and your lungs and your bloodstream and all those other parts that all work together to be able to be more efficient and be more accustomed to running certain paces while not using up too much energy. Yes, it's slow, but the idea is over time, your slow as part of the run slow to run fast will start to pick up. The other thing is that there is a recovery aspect to it too. And you might think, if you need to recover, why don't you just take the day off and recover? Don't like to think recovery in days. I like to think of it in hours. For example, like I wouldn't go out and do a recovery run like this, a 10-mile run, 12 hours after that hard workout that I had yesterday. That wouldn't make a lot of sense to me. But I've had 24 hours of a break, and so that's enough time for it to recover. And at that point, you get into active recovery, kind of like physical therapy or occupational therapy. If you've broken a leg, you don't just, or had knee surgery, you don't just take all the braces off and then off you go. You have to have recovery time, and you have to strengthen those muscles and get blood flowing. The blood flowing is what gets everything that helps your body to recover, to flow and activate and get all that stuff happening. And so I think the key to all that is motion. And so that's where active recovery, in my mind, starts to make a little bit of sense. But those are overall my thoughts. A little bit rambly today. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. My daughter's still a little bit sick too. And so everything's kind of just still a little bit not 100% right. We didn't take down the Christmas tree. There's still a ton of Christmas decorations up at our house, but at least tried to get it out of frame, because a lot of people were complaining. But we're kind of waiting for things to normalize at our house, one kind of major thing at a time. So we're trying to get over the colds that are kind of floating around the house first, then we'll try to tackle that other project. Before I go today, I want to talk about today's charity runner for the day. It's me, which I never wanted to do. I didn't want to do that, but I'm running out of charity runners. And so today the charity runner of the day will be me. I'm running the 2019 Chicago Marathon for Salute Inc. That's the shirt I'm wearing. This is from the 2017 year when I ran for them. And what I've done is I've went ahead and I filled my fundraising obligation already. I talked about it with my wife. We didn't want to have to ask a whole bunch of people again to donate to this cause. We really support this cause, and overall, we think that we can up our charity giving in that regard. And so I filled it up. If you want to help me out or want to donate to a cause that I care about, I would humbly suggest that you donate to a charity runner of the day. And to encourage more charity runners of the day, please send me your fundraising links, or send me your friends' fundraising links if they want to be featured. I'm going to up the ante. I'm going to double my daily donation to $10 a day, or at least that in whatever currency is required to donate on the pages and for the races that you're running. So $10 a day is going to be the pledge from here on out. I've been kind of starting to do that already, trying to get a feel for that. But I think that's definitely what I'm going to do from now on. $10 a day. Send me your fundraising links. I'd love to help you guys out and talk about the good that you guys are doing in your communities as you are preparing for the races that you're going to run in 2019. That's all I have for today, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for making it to the end of the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.